This is Now Spinning Magazine and I am Phil Aston. In this album review, I'm looking at a band that's completely new to me. Again, this is Royal Sorrow and Innerdeeps. So another brand new band to me to explore, and this is on its way to being one of my albums of the year for 2025. Royal Sorrow, Innerdeeps, Finland's next breakout act, ready to reshape the future progressive and alternative metal with their debut album Innerdeeps for fans of VOLA, Sleep Token, Spirit Box, Leprous and Bad Omens. They've left one very obvious band off that list, which I'm going to mention when I do the review. It's on translucent orange vinyl. It looks like it might glow in the dark, but it doesn't, but it obviously looks great on your turntable. It, of course, is also available on CD. But Inside Out Records, and I say this probably all the time now, these pressings from Inside Out, part of Sony, are perfect. And when they send double albums, the albums are in the middle of the gatefold, in poly-lined inner sleeves. There's no dust on them. They just play straight away. You don't need to wash them like a bag of salad from the supermarket. They just awesome. And this is the case here. Now, here are the guys. Just three of them. But boy, do they kick up a bit of a racket. It is, obviously I'm not from Finland, so please bear with me. Markus Hentunen on vocals and guitars, Eero Majala on bass, and Jane Makkonen, sorry guys, my intent, it's about my intent on drums. There are various guest musicians on guitars, backing vocals, all sorts of things, a choir, the lot. So what is this like? Now, I mentioned some bands, which some of you are probably familiar with. I've reviewed definitely Leprous on this channel. But one of my favourite bands, who kind of, when I put this album on, I thought, what this reminds me of something, especially in the vocal department. And I thought, Soen. If you are a fan of the band Soen, Soen, you will love this. You will absolutely love this. The first track is called Let Go, and it's just a complete wall of sound. I made some notes, and when I'm playing a brand new album by a band I'm not familiar with, I just write down whatever comes into my head. I don't try and, it's whatever comes to my head, and then I play it again, and I just look at my notes, and it's how it makes me feel. So this is a personal reflection in this review. So you might play this and think, no, that's not what I hear, but this is where I was. And also it's a bit like cleansing your palate. You've been listening but nothing but jazz funk, and then you put something like this on. Will it still work? Or if you're playing folk music, will you need to adjust before you put something on this on? What I've been playing before this, in fact, I had been playing some folk music, which is another review that's probably gone out recently, and it worked perfectly well. It was like just switching channels. Let Go. It's a wall of sound riffs. It's just intense. It's that stop-start metal crunch that really defines a lot of modern heavy metal prog music now. It's a great stereo production. It's not kind of like 10 to 2, you know what I mean? It's like it's been designed to be played through a Bluetooth speaker, so we don't want to make it too stereo because it's going to pay most people who are playing and they won't appreciate it. No. This is designed to be played through your big floor standing speakers, I can tell you that. And I said here, if you like Soen, you're going to absolutely adore this. Riverside, that kind of stuff. But this is heavier, far heavier. Metro Grave is next. Again, machine gun riffs. I've said this before, where you can't work out whether the guitarist is following the drummer or the drummer is following the guitarist. It's as if each beat of the drum fits with a note from the guitar, from the riffs. It's got a very almost sensual groove and drive to it. An impassioned chorus. The vocals on this are melodic, pure and clean, mostly, against the backdrop of absolutely killer crunch riff, guitar riffage. It's metal, contemporary sound, but it's the kind of music that will cross over and blur all genres. I think even if you weren't you're someone that said, don't do metal, me, you might do this. But equally, it's ferocious in places, but I don't think that will matter. The way it's recorded. This one has a lovely kind of area where it just drops back to just voice and piano momentarily. And then there's some serious guitar, drum, tight riffage again. As I said, absolutely amazing chorus. You'll need to go off and stream this, probably while I'm talking. Pause me. Are you back? I can't play the music here, but I'd love to, but I can't. But go off and stream it if you want to pause, and I'll just come back and I'll be on the next track. The next track is Samsara. This is heavy metal prog I just put down. It's an intense, funked up metal riff. There is funk in amongst this. There are offbeats left, right, and centre. It's very Soen. I just love the voice. I just love this guy's voice. Phil, you're not going to attempt to say his name again, are you? Marcus, forever known as Marcus, on the vocals and the guitar. Marcus, you absolutely stunning voice. The vocals, the choruses are impassioned, they're angst driven. It's the kind of stuff that, don't know, if you're 18, this is going to see you through. If you're a teenager in your 60s, it's going to work. Works just as well. Release Your Shadow has an almost very creepy stop-start metal crunch to this. And there is definitely some kind of hypnotic keyboard programming. Now, I looked all over the credit sheet and I couldn't see anyone credited for playing any form of keyboard. So maybe it's a synthesized guitar or something, but there is definitely pulsating keyboard kind of motifs dripped into this album in various places. That's what I could feel. I love this. It's heavy. It's intense, but I found it to be incredibly uplifting and very emotive. Evergreen is more laid back, great riff inflections, and again, great vocals. And again, there's definitely keyboards or something in there. It's not mentioned, as I said, in the credits. And then we're on to side 2 with Survival Complex. This has discordant guitars, very angry riffs, but the vocal is beautiful and sung without any effort. That's how it feels. You've got this absolute backdrop of intense riffage and drums and chaos, and the vocal just floats out over the top. Beautiful. But of course, when we get to the chorus, it's very angsty, and there is a kind of growly aspect to it, but it's not death metal by any stretch of the imagination. But obviously he's turning up the angst to show you the difference, and the message is getting across lyrically and vocally. And I've said here the guitars are following the drums, or the drums are following the guitars, but there's definitely some kind of keyboard sequencing going on in the mix here. This is all about the music and the atmosphere that is generated here. I think I reached this point where I realised that there's not many guitar solos on this album. There are some, and they're fantastic, but it doesn't follow a normal format that you might be expecting. Verse, chorus, guitar solo, verse, chorus. It just keeps you guessing where it's heading. And in that way, it's not boring, it's not predictable. It's damn exciting, is what it is. Blood Flower, I wrote down, it's just a great rock song, because it is. It's complex, it feels irregular, time signatures are everywhere again. But there's also some really gentle guitar lines at the midpoint in this song. And then we kind of switch to the, do you think we should have some screaming guitar lines in this? Yeah, go on. And those, you flick a switch and there they are. And there is a very angry kind of vocal towards the end of the song, but it's fantastic. Looking Glass, almost a ballad. Piano intro, solo vocals, great female backing vocals on this. And the riff about halfway through is amazing, with the female vocals behind it. I put this down. It's one of my favourite tracks off the whole album. As I was getting through this now for the first time, I just kept thinking, this is going to be one of those albums where I just know it's going to be one of my favourites. I listened to so much stuff, old stuff, new old stuff, very new stuff. I get sent lots of things to listen to, and I've never lost my sense of wonder to listening to new music. But I'll be honest, if you've been on the planet as long as me, you can think, yes, I know where this is going. Yes, I was not feeling anything like that, even on the first run through this record. And Sue also sitting next to me on the sofa, usually when I'm playing music for the first or second, third time, and she goes, I really like this band. And totally agree. Give In, it's another banger of a track, just full of uplifting modern rock, savage guitars, angsty vocals, soaring chorus lines. The production and sound stage is as wide as it is deep. Absolutely amazing sound on this album. Innerdeeps is the last track on side 2, which is the title track of the album. Jangly guitar sitting on a layer of riff crunch. That's what I put. Then vocals over complex drum patterns and a funky guitar backing in the background. Everything is in this. The chorus is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Then we have sudden stop-start, keyboards throb, and a heavy metal crunch again. And then we have a choir come in on this one. I just put amazing. I just love it. There was nothing else I could write down in my notes. Great guitar lines reaching into emotions and pulling you into the words and the emotive feel of the song. Give this a listen and let me know in the comments about what you think about this when you've heard it. If you're already a fan and I'm slow to catch up, which happens a lot, let me know what else you think I might like. But this is the band's debut album from Finland, and I absolutely love it. And this will be in my review of the year. This is going to be one of my top albums of 2025. Absolutely fantastic. Royal Sorrow and Innerdeeps, Inside Out Music, part Sony. It's out now. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, visit the website, visit the podcast, listen to the podcast. And if you want to join our private communities for music nuts like us, and there's one on Facebook and there are several on WhatsApp, and you can get access to them when you become a patron or YouTube member. And not only will you get a discount off all Now Spinning magazine merch, but you can come along to our own pub called the Now Spinning Arms, which meets up twice a month. Take care, keep spinning those discs, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon.